I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is the Buena Vista Township regular meeting, December 18th, 2023. We'll start with a roll call.
Mr. Krenzer?
Here.
Mr. Renard?
Here.
Mrs. Testa?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here.
Mayor Ruggieri?
Here. On January 10th, 2023, notice of this meeting was mailed to the Daily Journal, the press, and duly posted in the main lobby of the municipal complex. All requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been met in compliance with the Sunshine Law. I'd like to ask everyone to stand for the flag salute. Kurt, will you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 4, approval of minutes. We had the workshop meeting December 4th, 2023, and the executive meeting of December 4th, 2023.
Need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Krenzer?
Yes.
Renard?
Yes.
Testa?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Ruggieri?
Yes.
Announcements, presentations, discussions, there are none. Number 6, mayor's report.
A few quick updates for you guys. Happy holidays, everyone. I want to thank our township staff for the Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners that took place at the King Center. Thank you specifically to the center staff and our volunteers, especially Director Quentin McClendon, for coordinating these events. These events are a big part of our season of giving in BVT, and I'm proud to be a part of this community that goes above and beyond during the holidays. So thank you to everyone that made those two events possible. Continuing with the gratitude, I want to thank everybody that helped our holiday toy drive. Our donors, our volunteers, our participants. We were able to bring in over $3,000 to make this event happen. This room that you're in was wall-to-wall, floor-to-ceiling toys. When this event took place, we were caroling in the hallway, hot chocolate, Santa, Mrs. Claus. So this room became the North Pole for 24 hours. So thank you to everybody year over year that continues to make this happen. This event will be back better than ever next year. So big thank you to everybody that took part in our holiday toy drive. And lastly, I just want to give a quick shout out to our Public Works Department. Our leaf collection, we hit all areas throughout the town on 3 different occasions this fall. We've heard nothing but adulation from residents over the last several weeks, just as far as the overall comprehensiveness of this year's leaf collection. We will be back out in the spring.
Yes.
Okay. I'd also like to thank our guys for their diligence this morning with our most recent storm. What happened overnight was borderline biblical. We were in pretty bad shape this morning when we woke up and made our rounds throughout the town. I think over the last 8 to 10 hours, some of which was our public works guys with just trees, limbs, stuff like that, areas of the township that were kind of completely inundated. So please bear with us in the coming days. Anything that we need to know about, please call Town Hall or Public Works, just so we can get sets of eyes on the high priority areas. And that's all I have for us. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinances for introduction, first reading, there are none. Ordinances for public hearing, second reading, we have ordinance 138-2023. It's authorizing the acceptance of land donation for block 2811, lot 30.
Motion and a second to open to the public.
Motion to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we need a motion and a second to adopt 138-2023.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Roll call.
Krenzer?
Yes.
Renard?
Yes.
Testa?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Ruggieri?
Yes.
Public comment on current agenda items only. In order for the committee to conduct the business of the township in the most productive manner possible, meeting attendees will be given 2 minutes, all-inclusive, to comment on any agenda items without comment or question from the committee, but only on items specified on the agenda listed for the current meeting. Please step up to the microphone at the appropriate time and state your name and address for the record. Resolution 182-23 is authorizing the payment of bills in the amount of $1,472,636.86 Of that, the school board tax is $935,496, and fire district tax for their fourth quarter is $319,767.50. A consent agenda includes items of business which are not controversial and do not require individual discussion. A motion approving the consent agenda is moved, seconded, and voted upon as one item by the Township Committee. If any discussion is requested on a consent agenda item, it is removed from the consent agenda to the regular agenda. 183-23 is authorizing the issuance of street opening permits to South Jersey Gas. 184-23 is authorizing the refund of tax payments to CoreLogic due to overpayments. 185-23 is authorizing cancellation of grant funds receivable. 186-23 is to accept a proposal from Frank Mazentoff for the lease of township-owned property known as the feed mill. 187-23 is authorizing the township clerk to issue annual operating licenses. 188-23 is authorizing the winter shutdown for Jackson Road Phase 2 road project. And 189-23 is fixing and establishing wages and salaries for 2024.
We need a motion and a second to open to the public for agenda items only.
Motion to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
A motion and a second to pay the bills.
Motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Roll call?
Krenzer?
Yes.
Renart?
Yes.
Testa?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Ruggieri?
Yes. And a motion and a second to adopt consent agenda resolutions 183 to 189.
Motion to adopt 183 to 189.
Second.
Roll call?
Krenzer?
Yes.
Renart?
Yes.
Testa?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Ruggieri?
Yes. Item 12, our Township Administrator's Report.
Two things. One, yes, thank you to Public Works. They were up very early this morning, working tirelessly through the day. They will be back out this evening overnight to double check to make sure that we don't have any spot issues for any type of ice that salt needs to be put down. So I do appreciate Public Works being on call and available at a drop of a dime for the township and for the residents. And last but not least, which will hit everybody's doorsteps this week, is our 2024 municipal calendar and guide. This will be out this week, which will be delivered to each home within Buena Vista Township, so please take a look. Enjoy everything in there. We have a lot of events for next year. We have a lot of modified events for next year, upgrading events, bigger events, not only here, but also at our community center. That we have available for all the residents, food banks and things of that nature. So we are very proud of this calendar for this year, and this will be out this week to the residents. That's all I have.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
We're going to jump over to item 13, committee reports, and we're going to start with Deputy Mayor Testa.
Again, I want to bring up about the Christmas program we had. It was fabulous. I can't thank our staff here enough for everything that they do for our community. I want to thank Quentin McClendon for what he did for our Christmas
At the community center,
at the
right?
community
Okay.
center, yes.
The Christmas dinners.
Yesterday, the dinner. He is unbelievable. He wants to do everything by himself, no matter what it is. And we had, a few of us helped out and to give away, what was it, 52 dinners for people who came and signed up for them. And it's really incredible what our township does for people in need. And it's lovely. It was done for Thanksgiving and again for Christmas.
He is usually there starting at 4 or 5 in the morning with multiple ovens going at multiple places
Yeah.
simultaneously. And Quentin is just kind of like, I mean, he can cook for as few as 5 and as many as 5,000. So he's
It is.
definitely.
And he doesn't want any thanks, he just wants to do it, and doesn't require much help, and it's just amazing. And I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a happy, healthy, and prosperous New Year. And I also want to bring up about these calendars. There is a wealth of information in the back of these calendars, and almost everything you need to know about the township, police, any information about electric, gas, state troopers, it's all in the back of the calendar. Every drop of information that you might need is in there. So please take advantage of it and read through it. It is a wealth of information.
Thank you. We're going to jump over to Committeeman Aaron Krenzer.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So we got a full room tonight. Appreciate you guys coming out, battling the rain, the wind, and the water. It's been a crazy day, and now all of a sudden it's supposed to get down to freezing. So we got a couple trucks loaded up with salt tonight, and we're going to hit it if we need to. So we're watching the weather closely, so be assured that we have things covered to the best of our capability. So just a couple other things, staying on the Public Works update. This week, their team is out doing cleanup for the storm, the drains. They're handing out the BVT calendars, building repairs, and filling patch in potholes and that throughout our township. So if you have a pothole, if you see something in the road, please just call the Public Works Department. Lisa, what's their phone number?
856-697-2100, extension 5.
Leave a message if you don't get anybody. I assure you they'll be out and take care of it within 24, 48 hours. They're pretty quick about that. So, again, just watch the sides of the road and that. On my way over here, I was coming down Oak, a lot of water in the roads and that, so just be careful. It's going to take a couple days, maybe a week for that water to recede. So we also continue our purging of Public Works equipment that is obsolete, broken, not fixable, or not worth fixing. So we did sell a couple different pieces of equipment on Gov Deals this past week, which was great. That'll go into next year's budget. And we are still working on a generator quote for the Public Works building. When we lost power there 2 weeks ago, we run our EMS out of there, so there's some things that we need to do to take a look at getting power to that building when the power goes out. Unfortunately, we don't have that right now, so working through a couple different quotes right now on that. The new owner of Telligent, we've had some conversations with him and continue to evolve our relationship with him as well. We're excited to what he has to bring to Buena Vista Townships, and a formal announcement will be, in the next coming couple of months. So I'm excited to have him, come in here and possibly do that, on TV for the community and township. So that'll be good. Also, just a reminder, it's Christmas time. Everybody's getting a lot of packages. Make sure that you're picking your packages up off your front porch or your garage area. Make sure your cars are locked. Make sure your front doors are locked and back doors are locked. So a lot of people out roaming around and stuff and that. Had a situation today come up, but I just want to remind everybody just to make sure you're picking your packages up off the front porch, in a timely manner. And if not, call a neighbor, call a friend. I'll come over and get them if I have to. So, we'll handle it, but please just get them. And that's really all I have, Mayor. Have a great Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year. And again, we appreciate you guys coming out. And if anything comes up, please don't hesitate to contact any one of us. Thank you, guys. Thank you,
Thanks,
Mayor.
Aaron. We are going to jump over to Committeeman Renard.
I just like to reiterate what the rest of the council said about the Christmas. A lot of happy, smiling faces from the kids on Christmas. A little disappointed that we couldn't light the tree outside because of the weather, but we did a small tree inside, and it seemed to be almost just as good, right? And the other thing is, I was a little surprised this morning, woke up, didn't know I lived on an island.
Kurt, that's called waterfront.
Yeah, I just hope my taxes don't go up. Yeah.
Were you able to fish it all out of there?
Huh? Right off the porch.
Yeah?
Yeah, but it seems to have been going. It seems to be going down a little bit, pretty fast today. Sometimes it stays up there for a while, but it seems to be doing pretty fast today. And just like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a happy and a safe New Year.
Thank you, Kurt.
Okay.
We're going to jump over to Committeeman Williams.
Yes, Kurt and I attended the Historical Society dinner on Thursday and presented plaques on behalf of the township to Daniel Falaska Sr., Albert DeStefano, Bill Donnelly, and Pat Donnelly, his mom. And they were all honored at this dinner. And it was a pleasure to be there.
John, how many people were there for that? Was that a well-attended event?
Yes, it was a packed house.
It was a sellout.
Yeah, it was a sellout.
And that was at their new building?
No,
Was it
this was
Martin's-
at
Martin's
Martin's.
Oh, gotcha, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, but it was well attended. So, and also, I wanted to also comment on Public Works did an excellent job on the leaf pickup this year. They stuck to the schedule and completed all pickups, one in November and another one in December. And they really did an outstanding job this year. And also, I wanted to comment on the tree lighting in Santa's Toy Shop. It was another hit this year. We raised approximately $3,900 for the toys for the children, and it was an outstanding effort by Gia and the office personnel and Lisa. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you, John. Item 14.
Public comment. The committee welcomes participation of interested organizations and individuals during regular caucus, workshop, and special meetings. However, in order to conduct the business of the township in the most productive manner possible, attendees will be given 4 minutes, all-inclusive, including all dialogue, questions, and responses from both the speaker and the committee for the designated public portion of the meeting. There may be no transference of a speaker's time to other attendees, so please step up to the microphone at the appropriate time and state your name and address for the record.
We need a motion and a second to open to the public.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Barbara Kinsing, Kinsing. My address is 331 John Alden Drive in Cranberry Run.
Welcome.
We're all Cranberry Run. We're not asking you for anything. We're asking you to help guide us. We need rent control. We need help. We want to enjoy your calendar. We want to be able to stay here. We need your help. Big time. We need direction. They're trying to raise our rent to the point that none of us can afford to stay here. There's a large majority of us that are going to be homeless. I worked hard for what I'm doing. I'm not asking you to pay my rent. They're not asking you to pay their rent. They're asking you to help us control that rent. To have an 8.9% increase? We got 3.9 until next year, and then they're going to hand it to us. We're going to go from a reasonable amount to an outrageous amount for nothing. We got roads that are broken. When we have a flood or some rain, we got seniors that can't even go get their mail. But the first thing on this agenda is to be able to afford to live there. We take care of our homes. You all know what Cranberry Run looks like. We're not an embarrassment to the township. You know, we try. We try everything that we can to take care of what we got. There are homes. They're considered mobile homes. Well, damn it, it can't hook up to my truck. I'm not pulling it down the street. I need a big truck to move that. So there are homes. They're the roof over our heads. So I want to die here. It sounds morbid, but when you get to a certain age, that's how you think. You think, I don't want to have to keep moving. I don't want to be homeless. I don't want to have to choose between having a meal and paying my rent, when it's really not something that should be that high. It really shouldn't. The people that owned it are new. They're slamming us. And we don't have no rent control in this township. We need it. We really do. So I thank you, and you all have a happy, healthy Christmas.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll be seeing you after.
And how many years have you lived in Cranberry Run?
Myself?
Yes.
I'm a youngin'.
Yeah.
I've lived there 2.5, a little over 2.
Okay.
I'm young.
And most people here are a lot longer than that, obviously, right?
How many years? 20? 25. It was established, when, what year was it established? My mobile home's in 1987.
Okay.
And it was one of the originals in beautiful shape. Yeah, so, anybody got 30 years? 25, we got 20, we got 10. It's our remaining.
It's a long time, yeah.
The older ones can't make it, especially with the weather today.
Understood.
If your meeting was at the clubhouse, or at our community house at 2 o'clock this afternoon, we would have been there. Water or not. Well, we was fine there. You know, and we're just asking for you to help us. Williamstown got the ordinance passed. They got it passed. We got it right here.
So the 3.9 that you mentioned, is that for 2024?
Well,
The 3.9 is
were the older ones?
for the old, for the people who have the lease with, the people who have the lease with the original
we're
owners,
gonna
their lease doesn't expire until 25, until the end of 24, the beginning of 25.
Right.
So yes, they received a 3.9. I received an 8.9.
Do you mind just standing up and saying your name and address,
Yeah,
please?
just
Just, we have to keep
keep the
things
record. So it's on the
very
record.
formalized for the
Thank you.
record, so.
Luann, Luann, last name Lima, Lima. I live at 338 John Alden Drive.
What was that?
Do you have a copy of the
I do.
Williamstown, rent
I do
control?
not.
Okay.
I have
a copy
Weymouth.
of the ordinance for each of you.
I'll grab it.
Got it.
That was passed in September in Williamstown for Washington Township. And this is for everyone.
Thank you.
Everything Barbara said is passionate and also a reality. I received 17 phone calls in the last 2 days. People are panicking. Yes, there are a lot of us who are young. I still teach. However, there are many who don't. There are many who have 80s and 90 people who have 80 and 90. They receive $700 a month for their Social Security. And I understand, look, life is, life happens and it's a reality. However, we had a government step in. We had senators, assembly people, a town board, and a mayor step in Washington Township, and this was a trench that was dug. They went to court. The private organization, private corporation said, no, we're going to give them whatever we want. We're going to raise them however we feel, we need to. And they said, no, you cannot do that. And you'll see within this ordinance why they cannot do that, and why they were able, the government was able to step in and say you can only raise people 3% or the CPI, whichever is less. And that really saved, Williamstown. It saved that whole community. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to keep the people in their homes so they don't have to live in their cars. I mean, it's absurd. I moved in April. I've been raised 16% since then. I moved in, and after the first month, I was raised 8%, and I'm being raised 8.9 in January. So that's, and look, I work. So, and I would take part of what I have and give to the people that I could. Only we're 300 houses, and we can't be spread that thin. And we have a government entity who did this. So if they can do it, you can do it. We're a very large taxpayer base, our 300 homes, and I know that we can work with people who, have been elected to do this, to save the people, to work with the people. Look what you did at Christmas time. We need you to do for our community every day, just to give them the opportunity to pay a raise, get a raise, pay an increase, but not exorbitant to the point where they know they can't live there. That's why we're here. That's why we're going to continue to be here. That's why we're going to continue to follow, hopefully, this roadmap, this ordinance, to see if possibly we can have the same thing that they have in Williamstown, so the people who live there can continue to live there. Lay their heads down, and I know they can pay their bills.
Not to interrupt you, but please feel free to read that ordinance and see where you can, there needs to be some improvements that we should be shy about doing it to make it our own. Okay, because the entities that own the places, if they could give you a good enough reason to make a higher interest rate, they're allowed to.
Well,
let's put a limit on what those reasons
That's
are.
exactly right.
You're not gonna put a reasoning for next year that you're fixing our roads, when these roads
When the
needed to be
roads
fixed
are-
last year.
I spoke with the regional manager, and her answer to me was, it's business. And my answer was, business to put people out of their home. I was where you were for 20 years. I worked for the government in the legislature in New York. And I retired in 2013. I know what can be done if, in fact, people put their heads in their hearts to do it. And I am amazed, not in a good way, I just sold my farm. I retired in 2013, came down, bought a farm. I sold the farm and moved into Cranberry Run. And I really do think that's why I've been placed there, because this is just ridiculous. This is just awful. I have people waiting for me after school on my driveway to say, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this?
The older ones that are there, they've been retired a long time. It's not, you know, they may own their home, but they do, we're responsible for maintaining the outside of our house. Legacy does not maintain our outside. We
No,
do.
no.
We mow. We have very strict rules, and they'll come after us if, you know, if we have, you know, discoloration on our homes, or if our lawn is a certain, you know, not a certain way. So it's not like we're running there for free. We work there. We run it too. We're, you know,
No, no.
my neighbor, somebody I know, they make $1,200 a month. It came down to $1,200 after her husband died. If it goes up to $800 a month or more, which probably will be,
I'll be paying $844 as of January 1st.
but that's a lot that we
have
take
the
care of.
legislation. We have the legislation. We're hoping you follow the
Do that,
legislation.
which is gonna live on foot.
We're hoping you'll read the legislation, follow it, figure a way to implement it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both. And
Thank you.
Thank
Lisa,
you.
do you have contact information for was it
Legacy?
Barbara? Or
For Legacy, as well as their engineer regarding the drainage issues, yes. I've been in contact with
no,
both.
but for one of those two that just spoke, do you have their?
No, but I do have a good contact
Okay,
with the group, yes.
gotcha. Okay, that's what I was asking. Okay.
Yes.
Good evening. Hi, I'm Darlene Nice. I don't, that's not a good name right now, but it's okay. I have, my late husband and I,
Darlene, what's your address, just for record?
12 Powhatan. And today, this is the second day they didn't pick up my trash. They went through the whole development, but they don't like Powhatan Drive for some reason. Okay, anyway, my husband and I moved in 2003, and we had our mobile home brought, planted on concrete. Very proud of it, and I love it. I can't afford to move anywhere else, and I've checked out a lot of areas. My home, okay. There's nobody from Legacy here, because they're in Arizona or Florida. I understand that, correct? Oh, Maryland, oh, sorry. My church run pew. Okay. When my husband and I moved in 2003, our rent was $430 something, and for the past maybe 12 years, it would go up $7 to $12 a year. Now, it's almost 30 come January. Okay, I shouldn't say this, but in January I'm going to be 70. I don't know where that number came from, but I'm ready to go look for a part-time job just to supplement my pension and Social Security. I have looked at senior rentals in Vineland, in Cherry Hill. I don't want to leave. I love my home. I don't know what to do. I actually sent a letter to Legacy when they first took over, and I said, listen, we don't need a swimming pool. You don't want slip and fall, hip accidents, incontinence. We don't need that in a swimming pool, and I'm sorry it would happen. They ignored me. All I wanted at that point was my roads paved and put them above level. I came with a girlfriend, a neighbor today, because I couldn't get out of my house because it's swamped. I know, and that's not the first time it happened. I don't know. You have heavy responsibilities. You have a lot on your shoulder. I want to consider you politicians, kind of in your roles. You have responsibility, but put yourself in our shoes. I've worked over 33 years with a master's degree in social work. I've worked all over the state of New Jersey. I had to retire in 2014 to take care of my husband, who passed away in 2016. So I'm like, retired. I can't afford to be retired. I'm looking for an online job, and I've already been scammed once. Listen, my last name is not Lucky, it's Nice. And I just offer to you my sincere appeal. I don't know what else to say. And I don't want to take up your time. And I have to bring levity into it, because if I don't laugh, I'll cry. Okay? God bless you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Darlene.
The roads there are horrible. Have you been through it?
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Ray Maffa, 259 Mayflower Drive. I spoke with Lisa. We had a good conversation regarding rent control. I understand there's a significant cost to having a rent control board. But just to put it in perspective, the Oaks of Weymouth out in Weymouth Township, where we're paying $844 a month. I'm a newer resident. I've only been there a year and a half. We're paying $844 at the Oaks of Weymouth, where they do have rent control. I believe that it's around $685, which is a huge difference, and that's because they have a rent control board. We need something like that here, in Buena Vista Township. I mean, they're a small community, just like Buena Vista Township. We need some protection against this company. I mean, they just came in, they're just interested in raising the rent. They're not fixing the park. If you read any online reviews regarding Legacy, the Better Business Bureau, terrible reviews. They have no problem kicking people out of their homes, disabled veterans, elderly. They don't care. They're just interested in the bottom line. They're not interested in this community or the residents of this community at all. They just want as much money as they can legally get away with from us, and we just don't know where to go. That's why we're looking to you for some help. So that's it from me. So,
Thank you, Ray.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
My name's Ken Kudrick. I live at 532 Puritan Drive. I just want to reiterate what my friends have already stated. We do pay some of the highest rents around that I'm aware of. I know a gentleman, friend of mine who lives in Weymouth, and he's told me about the rent control. Ray and I were here several months ago to address the panel. I'm sure you remember who we were. And he does quite well there. He's 90-some years old. He doesn't have any problems. He doesn't have any problems where he lives. They take care of the park. As it was addressed earlier, we do take care of his homes ourselves. And that was one of the reasons my wife and I decided to move there, was because they do take such good care of their homes. The park has nothing to do with that. We do it all ourselves, and we're very proud of that. I just moved here about a year and a half ago, and they raised my rent twice on me. The first time was 3 months, and I moved here in September. Bam, January, they handed me another lease. And it just went up, and that was an 8-9% increase. So I'm like, Ray, I'm paying one of the highest rents over there. A lot of these people here tonight are from that same community. I've lived in many states across the country, to be honest with you. Somewhat of a nomad when I was younger. And I've raised in South Jersey. I've lived here most of my life. And I have to be honest with you, these are close friends of mine. They're good people. They'll give you the shirt off your back. So we're addressing you, our fellow citizens, and telling you what our problem is, and hoping that you can help us. We're making that appeal to you. We're not going to get the representation that we need from Legacy. They don't care about us. That's obvious. So we're taking our problem to you. You live in the same community. We're all here together. Let's work together to solve this problem. Other people have done it. It's been proven tonight. We know that Weymouth has it. We know that Williamstown has it. Why don't we have it? Help us out. A lot of people live here on fixed incomes. some of them have jobs, and some of them are forced to go out and get jobs after they've worked many years in a career. Now they got to get a part-time job. And even sometimes that's hard to do, because you got to flux everything between, taking care of your schedule, doctor visits, taking care of elderly people. It's a lot to adjust, a lot to try to get together all at one time. And it's a life change for us. So we're addressing you, and we're asking you face-to-face and heart-to-heart to help us out, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Ken.
you.
This is my first time here. My name is John, last name is difficult. Possevet. Address 472. Can I read this up? Address 472 Pilgrim Way. I moved here from Blackwood, New Jersey. I live in Cranberry Run. It's a good place and pleasant place. But you people have positions of authority. You can help these people do the right thing. Cap the rent. It's ethical and it's right. I've been praying all day that God would give these people who I live with favor with you. Legacy 2 times has billed me twice for 1 month. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. If they were really concerned, they would be up here overlooking the community once in a while. The first thing they did when they bought the place, and they sold it for $7 million, they fixed the signs to make it look cosmetically nice. Big deal. These people live on a fixed income. I do too. But I'm backed by a rich Jew. His name is Jesus. So do the right thing, the ethical thing, for these behind me, that your conscience will be clear. But thank you for helping them. And thank you. Okie dokie.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Appreciate it.
Cap it, baby.
So, I think we understand just a little bit more what everybody here is going through, your situation, your personal situation, and your life situation. So I think, we can
Let's see what
get
we-
together.
I
And,
think
and I know that,
the onus is on us at this point
yeah.
to kind of read through the playbook you guys have given us, coupled with the legacy knowledge, no pun intended, that our attorney has. I thank you guys for all having the courage to stand up
Exactly.
and give us.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
Of
absolutely.
course.
Do you want to stand
A
up?
little investigation on that.
Hang on. Can you say your name and address? I'm sorry, just for a record. Yep.
I live at 321 John Alden Drive. I did a little investigation on them because they were kind of like, but anyway, they have lawsuits against them from other states. So apparently this is not just us that's having this problem. So when you start doing your little looking into them, you're gonna see that they do have lawsuits against them for what's going on here. So I just thought I'd bring that little tidbit in so you guys.
Do you mean they have
know.
lawsuits against them for the same type of
Yes,
issues?
correct, yes.
Okay.
They've been doing the same thing, because they own a lot of places through a lot of states. Most of them are in Florida, but they have them, like California, they have them all over. And when you start investigating them, you'll see that they do have lawsuits
Yep.
against them. So
And
I'm
please
just
be,
letting you know.
yeah, please be rest assured. I know that there was a couple individuals a couple months ago, I think, that came in and did start bringing up, the rent going up at Cranberry Run, the lot fees going up. I think, they're here tonight as well. Understood, but, however, it takes time, and Matt has been working on this. There's been some things that have come up we've had to deal with. This is on our radar as far as looking into it and that. So, and Lisa, you have somebody to get back to and kind of keep up to date.
Yeah, yeah, I
In
will.
that. So, I mean, this will take some time, but I assure you that
Don't think
we'll
it's
take
being
a look.
ignored.
So, yeah,
Well, that's nice to
So.
know.
yep. But I mean, we gotta,
So that's come to the next meeting as well, because we are planning on coming
Yeah. Listen, we love people coming to our meetings. Please, come. I mean, this is great.
The next meeting's in 2 weeks. I don't know what progress
Yeah.
we'll have.
You know, I'm not going to tell you, none of us can tell you that anything can be done in that amount of time. Okay, and we're not trying to, tell you that anything can be done that quickly, because everything unfortunately does take time.
And in all reality, with all due respect, the 3.9, we're all paying it next week. So I have to pay the 60%, but most of the people here who are in the old lease, that lease expires in December. So we do have, by the grace of God, a year
Yeah.
to
December
figure all
next
this out.
year.
And we
Right.
do, and we hand it to
December
the
next
Well, I mean, we're hoping to have, an update in 30, 45 days for you of something.
Right.
Maybe not a decision, but something, and we can grow from that.
Right.
So, and go from there, so. Of course, yeah, of course.
And I have to tell you, I had to drive through there about two months ago, because unfortunately, you have a country lane, so mail is constantly, okay? And I had asked if it was a possibility that everybody put Cranberry Run on their addresses so that mistakes wouldn't always be made. And I had to drive in there, and I will attest to the fact that your roads are horrendous.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. Your roads are in horrible condition.
We were told, Carolyn Bonzini,
Oh,
261 Mayflower Drive. We were told this past summer, there was 3 contractors bidding on the roads. Nothing's been done.
did you ever see anybody there? Of course, okay. Oh, they did do that?
Yep. You can come forward, please.
Frank Lewis, 541 Puritan Drive. Supposedly the roads are waiting for approval, getting the permits from the city to get done. They need permits for the pool, the roads.
So they submitted an application to the township to go to our land use board. It was deemed incomplete, insufficient of some technical engineering items that they intend, which I spoke to the engineering firm today. They intend to resubmit sometime in January, which should hopefully get them in front of the board February or March.
For which item?
There was
Roads
multiple.
and-
You guys are more than welcome to come in and take a look at the plans that are at the clerk's office that they submitted. They will be resubmitting plans. So if you want to wait until they're resubmitted, they're going to have to do a new legal notice. But I'm trying to get them roughly, if they resubmit, probably February or March, at least in front of the board for a hearing that everybody here is welcome to come out to take a look
That
at
would at least
exactly
get
what
you in
they're
the same
planning
room
on.
with the representation for Legacy.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, they have to.
Well, they would have to, I mean, if
Yeah, they have
they
to be
want to
there.
do anything under the
They
umbrella
have
of
to
a
show
permit,
up.
their representation would have to be here
Yeah.
in that February, March
Water
meeting.
table's too high to put an in-ground pool.
Well, and, and just taking a step back, the land use board and that is a completely separate
Yes.
board from who's here. So, they have the awareness, the how-to, and the insight into a lot of that. So, more so than we do.
I've been there
for
6
that.
years.
Okay.
I got 3.9 increase, which now I'm paying 560. Not cheaper than most people. But January, I'm looking at 8 to 844. You're talking about how big that increase is gonna be from 560 to $844.
Well, I think that's part of the issue, to your point, is that the increases are all over the place.
Right.
From 3.9 to what you're saying, I mean, that's probably the better part of 25 to 30% year over year.
And that's in January 2025.
Okay.
So everyone's gonna be at equal table line there,
It's all up to damn near $1,000. Anywhere from
That's $3,000 a year.
$200?
Okay, that's 3,000 more a year.
So I encourage you guys to come to the meetings and, and ask for an update. And, Matt and Lisa and the team behind the scenes and all of us we'll work on it. And, we'll have something,
Previous owners.
So,
I asked them if they could take down trees for me. The one tree was this close to my trail, and it was this big around. It cost me $3,000 to take it down. Because I was scared that one of the branches, they're like this big
yeah,
around,
yep.
could tumble into my bedroom.
Well, especially that wind we had last night,
It was a big old oak tree, it was dying.
Mm-hmm.
They said, I didn't plant it, but I had to
Remember
pay
any
to cut it
trees
down.
there?
Got it, understood.
You know, we got to mow our yards, furrow our yard, rake, we got to trim the edges. If you don't trim your edge of your, by the curb, you get a letter. You know, if something slips out in the street, you get a letter. You know, I took my dog out, and there's, what you call it? One of the little foam things, I just kicked it out in the street, I was going back out to get it, they seen it, they sent me a letter. You can't have mushrooms in the street. You know, it's like leaves, you can't have leaves.
They have an
in the
on-premise
corners.
manager or
Yes, we
Yeah.
work with the property manager.
property manager?
And by the
Okay.
way, he did confirm that in at the end of their lease, they will be paying what I'm paying.
Yeah.
They will be.
You can be up to 844. From 560 to 844, that is a big jump. You know, this time we got 3.9 increase. You know, before it was minute because of the taxes going up or water bills. You know, so the water bill and the sewage bills included. But everything else we gotta take care of. They don't come mow our yards for free. They don't come fix our trailers. You know, if you have a leak in your trailer, they'll cut your water off. If you're there or not. And a lot of the trailers, if something happens to the person, they can't afford it, you know, they lose a trailer and the park gets it. Either they sell it and someone rehabs it and sells it for a whole bunch of money. You know, it's like they get them to people and then they get the high rent. We have people here that lives in the park. Her father, 95 years old. Where's he gonna go? You know, are you guys gonna build a senior home for all of us? 300 units, so we can just move in?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, come on. You got grandparents, military people there. You know,
Well, it's
World War
part
II.
of our community. It always
Yeah.
has been part of our community.
But
So
a lot of
we
times,
definitely
You
understand.
guys don't come in, it's a private lot. We don't get the services, you know, the roads, you know. If your electric wire breaks, we have to pay to fix it. Underground. The neighbor, her power went out. They cost $3,000 for them to put a wire from there to that gentleman there. In the ground, they had to put it. So they would have power.
Well, you have our assurances that this is going to be, this is a hot
This is
topic now.
addressed.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
This will
I
be a
don't wanna
phone
dump
call.
whole bunch of stuff on you.
No, this
but
will be
is why we're
addressed.
Starving for help.
To the extent we
Sure.
can, we're going to get involved and try to get us on the best possible footing to ensure an outcome, you know, that works for everybody. I'm a big advocate of communities establish their identity through continuity. If there's constant turnover, then you don't get that sense of community. You don't have anybody, you know, that's
Yeah,
telling the
20,
stories.
25 years people's been living there.
Yep.
People
Understood.
Pass in their trailers, they leave it empty, They take,
We understand.
they take their home and sell it to someone else, you know? And then they sell it to someone else and they make money on it.
The legislation that I handed you was passed by emergency. It was vetted in the courts, and the private company lost. The company that owned the Friendly's Village and the other village in Williamstown, they lost in the courts. And then the government came in, and this was passed by emergency, because those people too were going to be raised such an exorbitant amount in January that they were able to stop that from happening.
So was that a permanent fix, or is this just a Band-Aid?
This is a permanent fix.
Okay.
But there are some breaking points in there.
But this is a
That
permanent
they
fix.
can keep a record of this. Like,
Yeah.
like Legacy can overstep. They can overstep that ordinance.
Well,
Guys, just one at a time, please.
Yeah, we're-
Just
Okay.
one at a
We
time,
need to take a
please.
record of all
Please.
this.
Yeah, so there are some things that need to be adjusted in it as well.
Okay.
That's not,
Yeah, it's clear that Monroe Township and our town are very different, and there'll have to be adjustments for that distinction.
But secondly, in 1 month, once they raise everyone, they'll be making over $250,000 a month in rent. You know? Then you times that by 12, talking $3 million a year.
Yes.
You got over 300 trailers there. If everyone's at max, you know, So in 3 years, they made their money back.
Understood. Well, let us get to work on this.
Yes,
And
please.
have some updates for you guys.
I
Absolutely.
You know, thank you for
And again,
listening
thank
to
all of you
of
guys
us.
for
Thank you,
coming out.
guys.
So
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it.
Christmas,
Merry
Happy New
Christmas.
Year's. You know?
Thank you.
You and I have the same friend.
You got grandmoms living in there.
Your buddy.
Parents living in there for long.
We
Jesus.
understand.
There's no kids in there.
All right, Bill, just keep it in order.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And
Thank
we
you.
got 10 minutes before the
They're your
school.
two assembly standard executives. Okay.
We still have to continue
Yep.
through, if we can get into executive.
Okay.
Unless you, because
You want to speak?
Guys, we're still in a meeting, so if you do want to exit, you feel free to exit or just sit down, please. We got to close out the meeting and go from there,
We
please.
still have our meeting.
Thank you.
I remember you.
Real quick, I agree with everything they say here. I went to get my trailer insured.
Can you state your
Can
name,
you
sir?
state your name and address
Yeah,
real quick?
We're really,
Doug Melcher, and I live in Cranberry Run, 348 Puritan Drive. I moved in a year and a half ago. When I bought my trailer, the insurance company said it'd be $550. I said, that's not bad, I'm usually paying $1,000. So I lived there about 3 months, and I got a bill, or they called me, and they said, wait a minute, your trailer's on wheels, you can pull it out of there. And I'll tell you right now, that trailer's 30 years old. I've looked under it, you can't pull that anywhere. It's permanent in there. I'm just saying, maybe you could help with the insurance costs of the trailers. I don't know. Everybody else insures mine's $1,250 a month for a mobile home. It's 1,000 square feet, and it's locked in there. You're not moving it out. You look under the tongues off it, you're not pulling that anywhere. It's a permanent fixture. And they're saying because it's
There's nothing we
movable,
can do.
it's $1,028 a year. So if you could look at that, maybe that's a shortcut that can help some relief here too.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
All right, Bill, go.
Okay.
Motion to close executive, or motion to close, open up for public comment, sorry.
Motion to close.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 15, executive session. We have Resolution 190-23, which has authorized the committee to go into executive session where action may be taken. We have 2 items scheduled for discussion this evening. Those items to include any pending or anticipated litigation or contract negotiation or attorney-client privilege, to include attorney legal updates. Also, any matter involving the employment, appointment, termination of employment, or terms and conditions of employment, to include terms and conditions of employment for the code enforcement officer, as well as any other employment-related items to the same position. I estimate roughly 15 minutes for executive session and action to be taken after.
We need a motion and a second to enter executive session.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Krenzer?
Yes.
Renart?
yes.
Testa?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Ruggieri?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.